semen retention isn't about sex, it's about power. Because most men don't even realize how much energy they lose every time they release. Your sexual energy is your life force. It fuels your focus, your ambition, your discipline, your magnetism, your intuition. It's the energy that builds empires, sparks creativity, and pushes you into the highest timeline. But when you give it away carelessly, when you release it every time you're bored, lonely, or stressed, you drain the very power the universe gave to you to elevate your life. Retention isn't repression, it's transmutation. It takes the same...
You need to cut off all women.
Why is it women though? I don't understand.
Because they are draining you of your solar energy, and without it, you won't be able to find your purpose. This is why men, before they make it in the world, they always have a period where they abstain from women to be able to harness masculine energy. They have to cut off the women, and they have to cut off all temptation, and they have to spiritually grow to find out their purpose. Once you find your purpose, then you are able to grow masculine energy on levels you will never understand. But while you're draining it into women that don't love you, you will never grow.
You gotta ask yourself a question, right? The world that we live in, nothing is for free. You have to pay to live. It doesn't matter if it's healthcare, it doesn't matter if it's an apple, water, things that the universe gave us for free, we have to pay for it. Everything costs. So with that being said, you ever ask yourself a question how you can go on Pornhub, go on adult websites? It's so easily accessed. You can access it just from a click of a button, and you've accessed a whole library of adult content. So you ever ask yourself how, man, everything in this world cost. It cost to live in this nice house. It cost to rent this apartment. It cost to lease this car. It cost for water. Everything cost. What is the number one pleasure besides food and water? What is the number one pleasure that every single human being feels on this planet? I'm waiting. Sex. Intercourse, release, ejaculation, whatever you want to call it, orgasm. This is the number one thing that the body craves other than food and water. This is why human beings crave human connection. This is why it's the number one urge and the number one emotion or feeling that we get that overtakes our entire body. Whenever you reach the peak of release, your entire body is taken over. Your entire nervous system spazzes out of control. And many different people around the world are addicted to this feeling. We think that we're addicted to love. We think we're looking for love. But the truth is, we are addicted to the dopamine rush that we get in our brain. When you abuse adult content, and you use your fluids and you waste it and you dump it down the toilet, this is what ends up happening. Your reward center, right? Your dopamine receptors become fried to the point where regular conversations, regular interactions between you and the opposite sex becomes very dry. It becomes very empty. Your purpose and your passion seems boring to you because now, in order for you to get the high in life, you have to keep finding aggressive content. You have to keep finding aggressive adult content in order for you to stimulate yourself. When you take 30 to 60 days of not using adult content and taking a break from releasing, now your baseline drops. Now making YouTube videos seems like you're having a great time. Walking in a park now seems very fun because now your receptors are actually healing. Many men, many men. All right, let me stop. Many men around the world are going through this right now, and they have no idea why don't I feel motivated to do anything? It's because your reward centers are fried, people. So you gotta wonder, if everything in this world comes at a cost. Even the basic necessities, even for you to stay alive, even for you to stay alive and get care from the hospital, that cost. To go to a doctor to get health care, that cost. To eat stuff that the universe puts here for free, that cost. So you gotta wonder, if I go on the Cornhub and it's so easily accessible to everybody in the entire world. You just go on the website, you watch whatever you want for as long as you want, and it's free. It doesn't cost me a thing. This is what people don't understand. It actually does cost you a thing. And this is what they don't tell you. Everything in this world costs something. So if you're thinking to yourself, oh, I could just go on the hub and it doesn't cost you anything, oh, you got to think again. You got to think again, bro. Because it costs you your soul. Oh, I felt that one. Boy, did I feel that one. When you go on the hub and you're watching other people perform, it's costing you your soul. It's costing you your life purpose. It's costing you your connection to the divine. And it's costing you to build real relationships with actual people. Don't think you're not paying. You're paying something. Best believe. And you're only going to see it when you take a step back and you take a break from it. Give it 30 to 60 days. Then you will see how it affects you. Okay? Most people will never be able to see it. When I took a break from it, the biggest thing that I realized is how many different succubuses are attached to these videos. How many different leeches are attached to these videos. A lot of the stuff we watch, we don't realize, but they're rituals. They're performing rituals as they're performing and arousing you. But when you're finished and you've done what you came there to do, it doesn't cross your mind. It doesn't come across you. But take a break from it. I'll say about 30 to 60 days. You will start to see the effects. You may have an outburst of anger or an outburst of emotional release. And you're wondering, where is this coming from? Right? There's a missing piece that you feel in your life, and the way you fulfill it is by going on the adult websites. Watch this.
Satan is after your sperm. Your sperm is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual worlds. This is also why women really want your sperm. That sperm holds the DNA that gives life. And when women consume the sperm, they release serotonin, dopamine, GABA, all these feel-good hormones and neurotransmitters are activated in the presence of sperm. So you have to understand, young man, that your sperm, you shouldn't just be flopping it out everywhere left and right just because she's got 2 legs. You're going to be sought after physically, but you're also going to be sought after in the spiritual realm when you dream. But it's very difficult to dream and to get into certain deep sleep states, because you know that when you get nice and comfortable, this is when the succubus spirit is going to be the closest. And remember that the succubus spirit is going to want to suck the life's force out of your genitals. And after a man releases, he has lost his spiritual and his physical authority. Yes, I can overcome all things through Christ who is in me, but I also know that I need to go to the river after I have had a discharge. Because if I don't go to the river to wash away my sins and make myself clean, those demons are going to continue to linger around in that atmosphere. Remember, when you release semen, you're releasing blood. So you could even say this is a blood oath. And most young men are taught to create blood oaths at an early age, which is why most men, as they get older, they're not able to actually collect their blessing because they're so busy spilling seed.
And to give your brain minerals. Where does this fluid originate? In your sacrum, the same place where your semen gets built up. So anytime you're releasing, you are taking away from the nutrients to your brain. But here's the real magic. The longer you retain, you begin to wake up the kundalini energy that sits at the base of your spine. And I'm gonna mix this on a spiritual and a physical level. When you start to retain your nutrients by not ejaculating, more nutrients nutrients gets pushed up into your brain. This can make you more intelligent. But on a metaphysical level, what this energy does as it rises up is it starts to awaken your energy centers. It hits your solar plexus, now your intuition wakes up. Hits your heart center, now you become more magnetic. It hits your throat center, and now your words become law. But after a while, this energy begins to hit your pineal gland, your third eye. It begins to awaken the crystals on that pineal gland.
Let's not get it twisted, people. Okay? Just because my name is Spiritual Master does not mean I try to portray myself as a perfect individual. I'm not a saint. The only reason why I can talk about this is because the universe has given me downloads to learn about my life. I've struggled with adult content. Majority of my life, my teens, my early adulthood. Recently, I've been able to heal and release this for the last 2 or 3 years. But this is something that majority of us men struggle with. I'm not a perfect saint. I'm not perfect. I've had the same struggles that you had, which is why I'm able to discuss this openly and freely and tell you what I've been through. So I'm telling you what worked for me, okay? You need to let it go, okay? And whatever comes along with it, when you let it go, you may get angry, you may get frustrated, you may feel pressure, you may start, bro, you may recognize a version of yourself that you never noticed because you were so deeply into the problem. But when you take a step back, it's gonna get worse before it gets better. Just like any addict that's going through any kind of withdrawal, if you're going through alcoholic withdrawal or any type of drug, there's going to be a period of time where when you let go of the vice, before it gets better, you may start feeling like you're getting worse, but you have to go through it. Okay? So keep this in mind, man. Okay? You have a higher purpose in your life. You can't distract yourself with lower density things. Okay? Okay? So it's been another message with Spiritual Master.